In today's episode on First Insight, we sit down with the founder and creative director of one of Bayelsa State's leading ready-to-wear fashion brands, sharing the story behind the label and the vision driving its growth. Do well to subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Thank you very much, and once again, welcome to Paukel. This is Paukel, and I am the founder, and I am also the creative director of Paukel Empire Limited. But for now, we're in Paukel Ready to Wear. Paukel Ready to Wear is a brand, a female brand, but even though sometimes we dive into the male clothing, so we're not exclusively only working on female clothing. So Paukel, we deal with female workwears, casuals, and dinner wears. Sometimes we also do civil wedding dresses, as the case may be. Paukel was founded in 2019, and what brought about Paukel was a need I saw in the fashion industry, and that need was something that I identified from my brother's wife. So I noticed that whenever she wanted to get clothes, because she's actually on the plus size, we would move from down Yenagoa, if you know Bayelsa very well, to almost Igbo Guinea, and she could hardly find a pant trouser that sized her because of the peculiarity of the Bayelsa woman, our bodies. So when I noticed that, and I'm like, if I'm going to, come up with any brand, I'm going to work with the plus size. I wanted to bridge that gap. I wanted to cover that. I wanted to give the plus size Bayelsa woman something that could, cover her body, give her that comfort, and still make her look classy and nice. So in 2019, as of then, my former job was about to round up. So I said, okay, this would be a good time to, dive into something I've always wanted to do. So we created Paukel then, and what I did not just come into it just for the fun of it that, okay, I want to start making clothes. It was because I had a specific need of something I wanted to meet, which is the Bayelsa woman who was on the plus size, her body type. So I did a survey. I went out, I took measurements of different women, came back, and created a size chart for the Bayelsa woman, unique to her body. Now, most times when we have a size, maybe a size 12, a size 16 in the UK, and we wear it here, sometimes you notice that maybe the backside has a loophole, it doesn't lap properly, or sometimes the flap is either too short, so it's running down because of our body types. Our women were blessed behind and our waist and all that. So I created a size chart of something that could cover all of that, give it a very good look, snitch that waist, make it beautiful. Even if your stomach is bulging, it doesn't show. So I came up with that size chart, and the few times, I remember when we launched, I was so scared. I was like, will people receive my brand? How are they going to do it? Other people have been doing it, but then, hey, I got people who say, you know what, there's no perfect time to do this. And I remember when I opened the very first day, when people walked in, they were like, this is amazing. We've never seen anything like this before. I mean, I remember comments from different women when they came, they were like, oh my God, it's been a long time I saw anything that sized me this good. I haven't seen pants like this. So that was the major drive for Paukel. So over the years, and same 2019, I mean, surprisingly, we went to Lagos Fashion Week. And when we went to Lagos Fashion Week, and when it was time for me for the dress rehearsals, and I remember the person that came, I think he was from Paris or so, and he was like, Paukel, where are your designs? I said, these are my designs. He said, no, we don't want something that you bought. These have labels. Where is your, I said, these are my designs. And he was like, what? In Nigeria? These are your designs? And I'm like, yes, sir. So that gave me another courage. And then when we came back, after that, it was COVID-19, even though we got an invitation to Africa Fashion Week London, so we couldn't go. So from there, the journey began, where we've sold to more than 1,000 women so far. And then recently we came back and we said, okay, you know what? It's time to upscale the brand. Because initially, before now, what we were doing was, okay, something you could just wear to work and then feel comfortable maybe when you just want to take a stroll or something. So we decided to you know, take the look a little bit higher to that woman who wants to attend a meeting and wants something still smart and elegant. And like I always say, in Paukel, we don't do anything that is not decent. So our goal here is decent, stylish, and still, you know, wear luxury, but we major on being decently dressed and well covered. So I would say that my brand covers for not just the elite, but it also covers for the middle woman, the woman who is aspiring to be a purposeful woman, a bold woman, a woman who knows what she wants, a woman who walks into a room and everybody turns to look at her and say, who is this? The Paukel woman always stands out. She's bold, she's confident, she's classy, and she's decent. That's how I portray and call my Paukel women. So the Paukel, when we upgraded, I was so scared again. I said, this is another step because we haven't gone in this direction. But hey, I saw this going on all over the world, even in Lagos, in Abuja, beautiful designs. And I'm like, okay, why don't we bring them to Bayelsa? I mean, the Bayelsa woman also deserves to have the same flow like every other woman there. What the likes of Awosika would wear, the likes of Tara Durutoye would wear, you know. So let's bring them here. So that's why I decided to create this new collection that we created, and it's been welcoming. Trust me, it's been amazing. Here in Paukel, our mission is to be as affordable, classy, decent. I'd always hammer on that.
What is it about decency that you treasure so much about a woman?
Okay, so the reason why I always hammer on the word decent is because if you look into the world today, it's almost like we're beginning to lose culture. We're beginning to lose culture. We're beginning to lose our values as an African. Before now, I actually did history. Maybe that is part of it. So I studied history and international studies. So I think I go way back, and that's why we're trying to put back the decency we once had. Take it to anywhere. Decency sells. It is something that you can walk into any room and you feel respected. If you want to be up there, then you have to take decency serious. Nobody would take any naked person serious. You can't walk into a Congress looking naked. You can't walk into a governor's office looking naked. You can say you want to be someone who wants to represent someone else out there and be naked. So that's why I always hammer on decency. And I want the upcoming generation to copy this because it is actually a good value. A woman who covers herself and still looks good is a woman everybody wants to hear her speak. Everybody wants to hear what she has to say. Because like the saying goes, dress the way you want to be addressed. So if you want to be addressed as a purposeful woman, a great woman, a woman who has a voice, something to tell, you know, most of the times what you wear, people forget about who you are and start to look at what you're wearing. So the question is, what you're wearing, what message are you passing? Are you being influential to someone positively? Or is somebody looking at you and saying, what's this one saying? So that's the whole idea of trying to bring the decency together. I mean, being decent doesn't mean you have to look a certain kind of way and not look attractive. No. You could look decent and still look very attractive.
So, why Bayelsa?
So I get that question a lot. Why Bayelsa? I tell you what, December, a couple walked in here and she was like, why are you in Bayelsa? And I'm like, why not? Why not? Like the Bible would say, charity begins at home. So if I don't start from my Jerusalem, where would I go to? I mean, like I said before, this passion was born out of someone that is here, my brother's wife. She couldn't afford to see, she couldn't get proper clothes that could fit. It means there's a gap here. It means there is a gap here. So I wanted to close that gap. And I wanted my people to feel this before taking it out there. Yes, I know that with time we might want to branch out to other states and places, but hey, let us do it at home. A woman who hasn't finished training her children at home cannot go out there and start talking to another person's children. So that's the reason why we're in Bayelsa.
Are there peculiarities to the type of challenges you face here in Bayelsa?
Challenges, yes. There are peculiar challenges, which sometimes I just want to say, you know what, let me just pack up and leave because I tell you what, when I started creating some of these pieces, they look at it and they're like, why am I wearing this to? I don't have anywhere I'm going to. So why am I dressing a certain kind of way? Because here we are used to a certain kind of way. And like a lot of people would say, it's a civil servant state. It's more of a government state. It's not like in other urban cities where you have people going here for this event, they're going there here for this event. So, you know, these events kind of create avenue for people to wear different kinds of clothes. So when you come in with a style that they are not used to, trust me, these are challenges. So there's some times where we've made a collection and it would thrive in any other city, but here it would take them a lot of time to get to understand the purpose of this collection that you have created, and it costs you money, it costs you time. Another challenge we face here is electricity in times of production. I mean, this is a ready-to-wear brand. It's not like the couture where somebody walks in, brings a fabric to you and says, oh, I want to make this. So the person pays up front. It's totally different with ready-to-wear. Ready-to-wear is time-consuming. It is money, like money. I have to say that because one, you have to source for fabrics with your clients and your audience, the kind of people you want to cover for in mind. So you were there, you were thinking, is this going to be okay? Would they like it? Would they love it? So you go ahead to make choice for fabric. You go ahead to make choice for the style. You create something that you think would be acceptable, even though sometimes you want to do something that is totally different, but you have to take your clients into consideration before doing anything. So it is really challenging. It is challenging, trust me.
Your fabric, do you source locally? How do you source your fabric?
Oh, so when I first started, I did a bit of both. So there's a lady I met when I was just starting. That's one of the things that set us apart, our fabrics. I would always boast in my fabrics and tell you, you can't get it anywhere. If you get it, come back to the store and I'll give you a refund. If the label on that outfit is not Paukel, I'll give you. And a lot of people will say, oh, don't say that. You can't say that. You know, fabrics are everywhere. And I'm like, I know what I do. So I'm telling you, you won't get it anywhere because that was another reason. I wanted something different. Apart from the styles, my fabrics, I wanted them different. When you see my fabrics, you should know this is Paukel. You should know that this is Paukel. So I sourced from a lady who was buying from France whenever she came. So I would go pick fabrics from her. And then locally was when I started doing the two-piece collections. I would travel to Aba and get some fabrics. So I started doing the two-piece when I noticed that the ones I was getting from France were a little bit pricey as of the time. I mean, think about it, 2019 to now. It's quite some time. So I said, okay, you know what? Let's create a balance where even a student who just got out of school or somebody who wants to go for a matriculation or something could walk in and pick a piece, you know, pick a two-piece and go for whatever he or she wants to go. Or the housewife who is just a civil servant could walk in and get something. And then we still stick to our Paukel classics. So I have two names for our brands. So we have the Paukel classics, we have the Paukel basics. Because the classics are more of those ones that you know that these are really sourced. And these fabrics are unique. These fabrics stand out. And of course, they are not the same prices as the basics. The basics are Paukel's signature two-piece. Our two-piece are a sight to behold. That's all I can say, because they are easy, comfortable, soft, skin-friendly, and of course, above all, pocket-friendly. I can tell you that in Bayelsa, you can't get my fabrics. In Lagos, maybe, but before you find, it could take you maybe a long time before you could get my fabric anywhere around. Reason being that I'm not going to produce myself straight from the factory, so it is possible to have my supplier duplicate or something. So for now, that's how we source fabrics, but nevertheless, we still have some local fabrics that we have.
So what can you say to a young lady out there who's thinking of starting a business but is very afraid? What do you have to say to her?
All I have to tell you is just start. There's no better time to start. There is no perfect time to start. There is no such thing as I'm ready. You start afraid, you start nervous, you start small, you start from where you are.
Finally, can you say the journey has been rewarding for you?
Oh yes, it has been. It has been rewarding. Not just financially. I give you an example of that. Sometime last year, I was traveling to somewhere. I think I got to the airport. I just came down and at the airport, and someone was like, "I know you," and I'm like, "I don't know you." And my friend who came to pick me, she's a custom officer. She said, "My friend is just coming. You can't know her." And she's like, "No, I know her. You are Paukel." And I'm like, my friend was like, "Way blown." So it gives me a lot of joy to see that people that I don't even know come to me and say, "Hey, Paukel, I know you." I remember when we first started our Instagram page and we had some celebrities come like our post. I mean, the first ones I saw, I had to screenshot and repost, and I'm like, is this even happening? So it's been rewarding one way or the other, seeing people wear your brand. And only recently, we made for someone. I think I'm going to post it very soon when she goes out, and I was really touched. I mean, someone of that magnitude asking for you to design for her, to wear for a former president's birthday. I mean, it's rewarding. When I get calls from the UK to waybill stuffs to them, when I did my first order to the US. So it's been rewarding. Sometimes it's not just about the money. It's about the joy that you see the pieces that were once in your head now become life, and people wear them with joy. People walk past you. You see that this person is wearing your brand. Sometimes it's just a post you just come across and somebody's wearing your brand. Sometimes you're in church and somebody walks past and that's you. And you'll be like, "Hey, that's me." I remember when I went to Port Harcourt Fashion Week, and a former commissioner of the state came and was like, "Hey, I heard you were, showcasing in Port Harcourt." And I came and, you made this for me and I'm wearing your brand, and I was so excited. I was really, really happy. So yeah, it's been rewarding.
Okay, so how can we get in contact with you?
Okay, you can get in contact with us on Facebook at Paukel Empire, on Instagram, Paukel Empire 2, and we have also a page on Twitter. On Twitter, we're on Thread. We're also on TikTok.